The stars above Earth twinkled like usual, calm and silent. But deep in space, the galaxy was anything but calm. An alien fleet, unlike anything seen before, drifted slowly toward the solar system. Their ships were enormous, dark, and humming with power, each one armed to the teeth. The galaxy believed that humans, a small and unassuming species, would not dare oppose them. Humans were thought to be weak, primitive, defenseless. But they were wrong. The alien commanders, proud and confident, expected a greeting, maybe a delegation, or at least some diplomats. Earth had never shown hostility before. Their sensors had picked up the usual signals of peaceful activity, satellites, communication beacons, and tiny spacecraft. But now, approaching their massive fleet, they detected something unusual, something enormous, something terrifying. A warship, not a small vessel, not a few fighters, but a massive, planet-sized warship, emerging from the shadows of the asteroid belt. Its hull was black, almost invisible against the void of space, and its weapons glowed faintly with energy that seemed to hum in the very fabric of space. The alien scanners were overwhelmed. They had never seen technology like this, not in any part of the galaxy. On board the warship, humans moved with quiet precision. The bridge was calm, almost serene, as officers monitored the alien fleet. There were no loud alarms, no panic voices. Every human knew exactly what to do, exactly what would happen next. In the alien fleet, the mood changed instantly. Where there had been confidence, now there was fear. Where there had been planning, now there was hesitation. The aliens exchanged signals of confusion. Their commanders ordered a halt, trying to analyze the massive ship. How could a single planet produce such a weapon? How could Earth, so small and seemingly defenseless, hide such power? The human captain, a tall figure with sharp eyes, watched silently. No word was spoken. No gestures were needed. The ship's energy weapons powered up slowly, deliberately, like a storm gathering before striking. And then, almost imperceptibly, the warship shifted its position, aligning itself perfectly with the alien formation. The aliens had expected diplomacy. They had expected speeches and negotiations. They had not expected this. The first shot was not meant to destroy. It was a warning. A single beam of concentrated energy sliced through the vacuum, striking one of the alien scout ships. The ship exploded silently, its hull tearing apart as its systems failed. In the alien command, confusion turned into panic. What is this? An alien commander hissed. His voice trembled in the comlink. This is impossible. They are advanced, far beyond anything we imagined. On Earth, the news of the warship's departure had been met with silence. Governments had prepared this mission in secret for decades. Humanity had been planning for a day exactly like this, a day when the galaxy would realize it had underestimated Earth. The warship was not just a weapon, it was a message, a statement that humans would not negotiate, would not bend, and would not surrender. The alien fleet tried to respond, firing their own weapons, but their attacks were clumsy, almost foolish. The humans anticipated every move. Shields went up and down with perfect timing. The alien ship's energy beams bounced harmlessly off the human warship's hull, which seemed to absorb or deflect damage effortlessly. A second alien ship attempted a flanking maneuver, hoping to hit the humans from the side. But the warship rotated and deployed drones, tiny, fast, and deadly, that intercepted and destroyed the alien ship before it could get close. Panic spread like wildfire through the alien ranks. Some alien leaders called for retreat. "We must withdraw," they said. "This is not a war we can win. These humans, they are monsters." But others refused. Pride, arrogance, and disbelief kept them moving forward. They could not believe that a single species, confined to a small planet, could develop technology that rivaled the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. As the battle escalated, humans remained eerily calm. The warship moved with precision, calculating every strike. Each alien attack was met with an exact counter. The humans did not panic, did not hesitate, did not falter. The alien fleet had expected chaos. They had expected confusion. What they got was a perfect machine of war, controlled by beings they thought were weak. Meanwhile, back on Earth, citizens watched in awe as news from the warship reached them via encrypted channels. The world had been preparing quietly for decades, building technologies, training officers, and developing strategies that would shock the galaxy. For the first time in history, humanity showed that it was not merely a small planet in a vast universe. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. The alien fleet tried to negotiate, sending messages demanding surrender. "We can avoid war. Withdraw, and we will allow you to survive," one message read. The human captain responded not with words, but with action. Another concentrated energy beam destroyed a smaller alien ship at the edge of the formation, demonstrating both power and precision. The aliens began to realize that negotiations were impossible. The humans had no intention of surrendering, no intention of being intimidated, and no intention of showing mercy. In the alien command, chaos erupted. Leaders shouted over comlinks, blaming each other, questioning decisions, and trying to find a solution. But there was none. Humanity had the advantage. Humanity had the knowledge. Humanity had the will. The warship continued its advance, moving slowly, deliberately, like a predator circling its prey. Its weapon systems glowed brighter, energy accumulating for a strike that could annihilate an entire section of the alien fleet. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the warship stopped. The humans paused, waiting, calculating. The alien fleet hesitated, unsure of what would come next. Silence filled the void, more terrifying than any sound of battle. "This is only the beginning," the human captain thought, his eyes scanning the alien formation. They have no idea what is coming. In those moments, the galaxy realized a terrifying truth. Humans were not the defenseless species everyone had assumed. Earth had not sent diplomats. Earth had sent terror, cloaked in steel and energy, and it had only just begun to awaken. The aliens could only watch, frozen in fear, as the massive warship loomed above them. It was silent, yet threatening. It did not move without purpose. It did not act without reason. And it did not hesitate to show the consequences of underestimating humanity. Back on the warship, humans prepared for the next phase. Energy readings spiked. Weapon systems were ready. Tactical calculations were complete. The captain gave a single nod, and the crew understood. They had trained for this moment for decades. Every strike, every movement, every decision had been planned. The alien fleet, meanwhile, scrambled. Some tried to retreat. Others launched desperate attacks. The humans did not panic, did not falter. They struck with precision, eliminating alien ships one by one. The galaxy watched in disbelief. The small blue planet, thought to be weak, had unleashed a weapon that no one could resist. The first phase of the attack ended, but the message was clear. Humanity was awake. Humanity was prepared. Humanity was not to be underestimated. And the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The stars, calm as they had always been, now bore witness to a turning point. A turning point that would change the balance of power in the galaxy. The aliens had expected diplomacy, but humans had delivered terror. And this was only the beginning. The alien fleet was in chaos. Ships that once glided confidently through the void now moved like frightened creatures, hesitant and uncoordinated. Their commanders barked orders over trembling comlinks, trying to regain control, but the humans were always a step ahead. Every maneuver, every plan, every strike had been anticipated. The warship hovered silently, like a predator waiting for the perfect moment. Its hull reflected the distant sun faintly, but the energy it held inside was enough to destroy entire fleets. Humans moved through their stations calmly, checking systems, targeting calculations and communications. There was no panic, no shouting, no fear, only efficiency. The first real strike came suddenly. Alien ships at the edge of the formation, thinking they could escape the humans' reach, were instantly targeted. Small energy projectiles, almost invisible in the dark of space, streaked across the void. They struck with precision, disabling engines and causing explosions that lit up the blackness. Within moments, the aliens realized that these were not ordinary weapons. The projectiles were guided, calculating, and deadly. The humans had trained their systems to predict alien movements and adjust the strike in real time. Some alien ships tried to fight back. Energy beams lanced across the distance, connecting with the human warship shields. Sparks flew, systems flared, but nothing penetrated. The humans had built shields that absorbed, redirected, and neutralized attacks. Every alien strike that connected was already anticipated and countered. On board the warship, the captain watched with sharp eyes. A small smile appeared on his face. "They are trying to test us," he said quietly. "Let's give them the lesson they never expected." The humans deployed drones next. Tiny, fast, and incredibly smart, the drones zipped through space like swarms of deadly insects. They could split into multiple paths, dodge enemy fire, and strike targets with precision. One by one, alien ships were crippled. The larger vessels could maneuver quickly enough to escape, and smaller vessels were destroyed almost instantly. The aliens had never faced anything like this. They were advanced, yes, but nothing in their history had prepared them for humans. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and relentless. Their technology was not just superior, it was beyond imagination. In the alien command, fear turned into desperation. Some fleets began to retreat, trying to regroup and save what was left. Others launched reckless attacks, hoping to overwhelm the humans with numbers. But humans had prepared for that too. The warship shifted its position, aligning its massive cannons with multiple targets. In one precise volley, several alien vessels exploded simultaneously. The soundless fire lit the darkness with brilliant streaks of destruction. Even the most confident alien commanders gasped in horror. "Stop them," one shouted. "We cannot allow this to continue. Withdraw immediately." But it was too late. Humans were not just defending. They were taking control of the battle. Their warship moved like a chess master, positioning itself perfectly, anticipating alien moves before they happened. Every attack was met with a counter. Every strategy was neutralized. And then came the human secret weapon, long-range ion beams. Invisible at first, these beams tore through alien engines, disabling them without destroying the hull. Ships floated helplessly, unable to move, easy targets for the humans' next strike. Some aliens tried to surrender. Small ships transmitted signals of peace, pleading for mercy. The humans did not respond. They had no intention of negotiating. Their mission was clear: show the galaxy the consequences of underestimating Earth. The aliens began to panic completely. Their formations broke apart, some ships colliding with each other in confusion. Their once proud fleet was crumbling, and the humans hadn't even revealed the full power of their warship. Inside the human warship, officers monitored the battle with calm precision. The weapon systems were fully operational, energy levels at maximum, and drones ready for deployment. The captain gave simple, clear commands. Each human moved without hesitation, like a single organism acting with one purpose. The alien fleet was no longer an organized force. It was a group of frightened creatures trying to survive. And humans, silent and deadly, were the hunters. As the battle continued, more surprises emerged. Humans deployed stealth fighters, tiny ships that could appear and disappear almost instantly. They struck alien ships from unexpected angles, disappearing before the enemy could respond. Some alien commanders began to wonder if the warship was even real, or if Earth had multiple hidden fleets waiting to strike. A particularly large alien cruiser attempted to break through the humans' defenses. Its energy weapons fired continuously, cutting across space like lightning. But the humans anticipated every attack. Their shields absorbed the beams, their drones harassed the ship, and finally, the cruiser was torn apart by concentrated fire from multiple cannons. The aliens could not believe what they were seeing. A single human warship, controlled by a relatively small crew, was destroying their fleet with terrifying efficiency. Some alien commanders began to question the wisdom of ever-approaching Earth. Meanwhile, the humans remained calm, almost eerily so. They did not celebrate. They did not gloat. They simply executed their plan with perfect precision, knowing that each strike was a step towards sending a message to the galaxy. Humanity would not be ignored. Some alien leaders tried to communicate again, begging for peace, warning of consequences, appealing to reason. The humans ignored them. This was not a negotiation. This was a lesson A lesson in power, strategy, and the consequences of underestimating a species that had spent centuries preparing for this very moment. The battle raged for hours, but it felt like minutes. Alien ships were destroyed one by one, their formations shattered, their morale broken. Humans advanced slowly, deliberately, ensuring that no ship could escape without facing the consequences of its arrogance. Finally, the aliens attempted a retreat. Some ships fled, hoping to regroup and warn others of humanity's power. But the humans allowed only a few to escape. Most were destroyed, left drifting silently in the void as a warning to anyone who thought Earth was defenseless. Inside the human warship, the captain watched the retreat with quiet satisfaction. "Phase 1 complete," he said. "But this is only the beginning." The galaxy, watching through scattered communications and sensors, could only react with shock and fear. Humanity had revealed its power, its strategy, and its intelligence. No one could believe that such a small planet could produce such devastating technology. The aliens who survived would carry the message back to their empires. Stories of Earth's warship, its drones, its stealth fighters, and its precision strikes would spread. Fear would replace arrogance. Caution would replace confidence. And humans would continue to watch, silent and patient, knowing that the galaxy had finally learned a truth it would never forget. Earth was not defenseless. Humanity was a force, hidden for centuries and now fully awake. The first strike was over, but the story was far from finished. The galaxy would remember this day, the day when humans showed the universe what they were capable of, and those who underestimated Earth would never make the same mistake again. For the humans, it was just a beginning. The warship, massive and silent, waited in the void, ready for the next phase, ready for the next challenge, and ready to ensure that no one ever doubted humanity's power again. The alien fleet was shattered. Ships that had once bristled with confidence now drifted aimlessly in the void. Some were damaged beyond repair, some disabled, and some too terrified to fight. Yet, a few stubborn commanders refused to accept defeat. They thought sheer numbers could overwhelm the humans. Even now, they were wrong. The warship loomed above the remnants of the alien fleet, like a dark god of war. Its massive hull reflected faint starlight, and its energy systems pulsed with terrifying power. Humans moved calmly at their stations, fingers flying over controls, eyes scanning countless readouts. Every calculation had been made, every prediction accounted for. Then came the full strike. Energy beams, invisible until they struck, carved a path to the remaining alien vessels. Their shields failed one by one under the focused assault. Entire squadrons disintegrated before the eyes of alien commanders, leaving twisted wreckage floating silently in the void. Some alien ships tried desperate maneuvers. They turned, dodged, fired, and attempted to regroup. But the humans were always ahead. Drones swarmed the attackers, striking simultaneously from multiple directions. Stealth fighters appear out of nowhere, delivering precise, crushing blows. Alien formations collapsed. Order turned into chaos. Inside the human warship, the captain observed the battle with cool detachment. "Initiate Phase 2, he ordered. The crew responded without hesitation. Massive energy cannons powered up, their glow intensifying, painting the dark void in shades of lethal light. The aliens could only watch in horror. The humans had moved beyond defense. They were now on the offensive, and their firepower was unmatched. Entire alien squadrons were wiped out within minutes. Some smaller vessels tried to flee, but the warship anticipated every route, cutting off escape paths with calculated precision. The alien fleet was no longer a fighting force. It was a target, helpless and scattered. And yet, the humans did not relent. The warship unleashed a concentrated barrage, a combination of energy beams, plasma torpedoes, and drones working in perfect harmony. Alien cruisers that had survived the first strikes were torn apart without warning. Engines exploded. Weapon systems melted. Hulls twisted and disintegrated. The galaxy had never seen anything like this. Some aliens began to despair. Messages of surrender were sent frantically, begging for mercy. But the humans did not respond. Mercy was not on the table. Humanity was sending a message: do not underestimate us. Ever. Within the alien ranks, panic turned to horror. Entire fleets had disappeared in moments. Leaders screamed orders that could not be executed. Ships collided, ran out of power, or were destroyed outright. The very confidence of the alien species was shattered. Yet, amid the destruction, a few commanders plotted a desperate counterattack. "We cannot let them destroy all of us," one whispered. "We must unite and strike now, before it is too late." They rallied their remaining forces and surged forward, hoping to overwhelm the humans with sheer numbers. But humans had anticipated this. Hidden in the shadows of nearby asteroids and planetary rings were stealth fighter squadrons. They struck from every direction, cutting through the assault like knives. Alien ships exploded in rapid succession, their combined might crushed before it could be brought to bear. The warship then revealed another terrifying capability: gravitational disruptors. Waves of energy distorted space around the alien ships, tearing structures apart, disabling engines, and throwing formations into disarray. The aliens had never encountered such power. They could not understand how a single species could wield it with such control. A particularly massive alien cruiser, a flagship of sorts, attempted to fire at the humans' warship directly. Its energy cannons roared, filling the void with deadly light. The humans calmly raised shields, calculated trajectories, and redirected energy to intercept. The alien flagship exploded spectacularly, a massive burst of light and fire illuminating the darkness. The remaining alien commanders stared in disbelief. Their fleet, which had once seemed unstoppable, was crumbling. Their best ships destroyed, their tactics ineffective, and their morale shattered. Meanwhile, humans continued their calculated advance. The warship moved with deliberate speed, positioning itself to maximize impact while minimizing risk. Every strike was precise, every maneuver intentional. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. This was not chaos. This was a masterclass in strategy and power. Alien diplomats tried again to negotiate, but their words fell into silence. The humans had no interest in talks. Their silence was louder than any argument, louder than any threat. They had waited for this moment for decades, and they would not waste it with meaningless discussions. The battle continued for hours, though it felt like minutes. Entire fleets of alien vessels vanished, leaving nothing but debris and silence. The few ships that survived fled in terror, sending desperate messages to their homeworlds. The humans did not chase. The warship remained, a dark sentinel in the void, watching, calculating, ready for any threat. Inside the warship, the captain leaned back slightly. "Phase 3 will be even more decisive," he said quietly. The crew nodded. They understood. The humans had not yet shown their full potential. What the galaxy had witnessed so far was only the tip of the iceberg. The aliens had underestimated humanity. They had assumed that Earth was defenseless, primitive, and unprepared. They were wrong. Humanity was not only prepared. They were waiting, calculating, and now fully unleashed. Messages from the alien fleet were desperate, pleading for mercy, warning of consequences, begging for a ceasefire. But the humans ignored them. Their focus was on precision, efficiency, and sending a message. The galaxy will remember this day. Earth had spoken, and its voice was terrifyingly clear. The warship deployed additional drones, faster and smarter than before. They coordinated with energy beams and stealth fighters, creating a web of destruction that the alien fleet could not escape. Alien ships were torn apart in minutes, some disintegrating completely under the concentrated power. Finally, the remaining aliens realized the truth. They could not win. Humanity had mastered every aspect of war, combining intelligence, technology, and strategy in a way that no one had ever imagined. Even the strongest alien ships were no match. The warship paused, hovering silently as the last few alien vessels fled. Silence filled the void. The humans had won the first major battle decisively. The galaxy was shaken, and whispers of fear began to spread. Every species that had once looked down on Earth now reconsidered their assumptions. The humans had shown them all a terrifying truth. The small blue planet was not defenseless. It had been preparing, calculating, and waiting, and now it had struck. The captain looked out at the debris field of destroyed alien ships. "Phase 1 and 2 complete," he said. "The galaxy is learning, slowly, but it is learning." The crew nodded. They had trained for this moment. They had executed perfectly. Humanity had proven its power. And the galaxy would never forget the name of this warship, the symbol of human strength, strategy, and dominance. The stars above Earth remained calm, but the galaxy was anything but calm. The aliens had suffered a catastrophic defeat, and their species will remember the lesson for centuries. Humanity had not just fought a battle, they had sent a message, and the galaxy would never underestimate Earth again. The remnants of the alien fleet floated silently in the void, broken and confused. Their ships were scattered, systems damaged, morale shattered. Yet even in their fear, a few commanders could not believe what had happened. How could a single warship, seemingly alone, destroy entire fleets with such precision? How could humans, a species they had dismissed as primitive, wield such unimaginable power? For decades, the aliens had considered themselves masters of the galaxy. They had conquered countless planets, subdued civilizations, and believed nothing could challenge them. They had thought Earth was defenseless, a tiny blue world barely worth noticing. They were wrong. High above the debris, the human warship waited. It had not moved far, but its presence was enough to command silence and fear across the alien remnants. The humans were calm, controlled, and calculating. They had already proven that their weapons were more powerful than anything the aliens had seen. Yet this was only part of the plan. On board the warship, the captain observed the alien fleet with quiet satisfaction. "They think they have seen our full strength," he said. "They are about to learn the truth." Hidden beyond the outer edges of the solar system, undetected by alien sensors, lay Earth's secret fleets. These were massive vessels, even larger than the first warship, equipped with weapons and defenses beyond imagination. Centuries of planning, construction, and technological development had culminated in this moment. The fleets had remained hidden, silent, and invisible. Until now, the captain gave a simple command: reveal the fleets. In an instant, the darkness of space shifted. One by one, massive warships emerged from behind planets, asteroids, and the shadows of gas giants. Their hulls were black, angular, and impossibly large. Energy weapons glowed faintly along their sides, humming with potential. Alien sensors went into overload. They could not comprehend the scale. Entire fleets had been hidden in plain sight. Entire fleets had been waiting, ready to strike. Alien commanders froze. Some tried to retreat. Others tried to fire, but every move was anticipated. The humans' hidden ships were perfectly coordinated, a web of precision and lethal intent. The aliens had assumed they were fighting only one warship. They were wrong. The first of the hidden fleets deployed drones and stealth fighters, striking from unexpected angles. Alien ships were destroyed before they could react. Engines exploded, weapon systems failed, and formations collapsed. The galaxy had never witnessed such coordinated destruction. One alien commander, trembling, spoke over the comlink. How is this possible? They cannot have this many ships. They cannot. The humans did not respond. There was no need. The message was clear without words. Humans had been preparing in secret. Humans were everywhere. Humans were unstoppable. The alien fleet attempted to regroup, forming a defensive ring around the few remaining intact ships. But it was too late. Humans had already calculated every possible move, predicting each maneuver before it could be executed. Drones and stealth fighters tore through the alien defenses, striking with deadly efficiency. Inside the human warship, officers monitored every detail. Energy levels were stable, weapons fully operational, and communications encrypted. The captain's eyes scanned the void, watching as the alien formations crumbled under perfect coordination. "Phase 4, he said quietly. "Show them everything." The hidden fleets moved in unison, revealing their full power. Massive cannons unleashed focused beams of energy, tearing through alien ships with surgical precision. Ion disruptors disabled engines, leaving ships drifting helplessly. Gravity manipulators warped the void itself, crushing some ships and flinging others into collision courses. The aliens had no chance. They had never faced anything like this. In the chaos, alien leaders finally understood the truth. Earth had been planning for this moment for centuries. Every technology, every ship, every weapon had been designed and perfected in secret. The humans had not only anticipated this attack, they had engineered a trap, and the aliens had walked straight into it. Some aliens tried to flee. sending messages begging for mercy, promising alliances, even threatening retaliation. But the humans ignored them. Communication was pointless. The galaxy had already received the message. Earth was not to be underestimated, and humans would not negotiate with those who had underestimated them. The revelation of the hidden fleets changed everything. The aliens realized that the warship they had first encountered was only the tip of the iceberg. Entire fleets, massive weapons, and centuries of planning lay behind it. Humanity was not just defending Earth. They were asserting dominance in a way the galaxy had never imagined. One alien ship attempted a reckless attack, hoping to take down a human vessel before more of their fleet could arrive. The humans anticipated it immediately. A swarm of drones intercepted the ship, striking from multiple angles. Energy beams disabled its weapons, and a concentrated strike destroyed it entirely. Panic spread among the remaining alien commanders. They began to understand that their technology, strategy, and experience meant nothing against humans. Humans were not just strong. They were smarter, faster, and unpredictable. Every move the aliens made was countered before it could have any effect. Inside the warship, the captain watched the aliens' reactions with calm, almost detached gaze. "They finally understand," he said. "The galaxy finally knows we were never defenseless. They will never make the same mistake again." The humans did not stop their advance. Every alien ship left in the void was carefully disabled or destroyed. Some ships attempted to retreat toward their home systems, but the humans had already blocked their escape routes. The hidden fleets had been positioned perfectly, ensuring no one could flee. As the alien fleet crumbled, a sense of awe spread among the survivors. Even those who had once considered themselves invincible now recognized the sheer power and intelligence of humanity. They had seen the warship, the hidden fleets, and precision of every strike. They had seen humans move as one, unstoppable and calm, calculating every outcome before it happened. And then the humans paused, not because they were finished, but because the message had been delivered. The galaxy needed to understand the consequences of underestimating Earth. Humans had revealed themselves not as a species to negotiate with, but as a force that could decide the fate of anyone who dared challenge them. The alien survivors transmitted messages of surrender, pleading for mercy, begging for a ceasefire. But the humans ignored them. Their silence was louder than any words, louder than any weapon. It was a statement. Earth was awake. Humanity was ready. And the galaxy would never forget this day. Back on the warship, the captain gave a single nod. Phase 4 complete. The revelation is done. Let them learn to fear us. The hidden fleets returned to their positions, cloaked once again in the shadows of the solar system. The aliens had seen their full strength, yet humans remained calm and collected, waiting for the next threat. The galaxy had been shaken, and the news would spread quickly. Every species that had underestimated Earth would reconsider, and every empire that had dismissed humanity would now know the terrifying truth. The warship and its hidden fleets remained in orbit, silent and imposing. The stars above Earth remained calm, but the galaxy was anything but calm. The aliens had learned a lesson they would never forget. Humans had been preparing, hiding, and waiting for the perfect moment to reveal their power. The revelation had come, and with it, a warning. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The warship, the hidden fleets, and the intelligence behind them were only the beginning. The galaxy had finally seen the full scope of what Earth could do, and fear had replaced arrogance. And humanity? Humans had simply begun. The void was quiet now. Silence stretched across the remnants of space where the alien fleet had once moved with confidence. Twisted wreckage of alien ships floated slowly, drifting like broken memories. Energy pulses still flickered from destroyed engines and collapsed weapon systems, painting brief streaks of light against the dark backdrop of stars. The humans' warship hovered above the chaos, calm, imposing, and unbroken. Around it, hidden fleets remained cloaked, silent sentinels waiting for any movement that might threaten Earth. The battle was over, but the message had only just begun. Inside the warship, the captain surveyed the results. His eyes moved from the destroyed alien formations to the surviving ships attempting to escape. He did not smile, nor did he celebrate. This was not victory in the traditional sense. It was something far more significant. A statement had been made. A warning had been delivered. Broadcast a message, he said quietly. The crew acknowledged with calm efficiency. Across the galaxy, encrypted communication pulses began to spread. The message was simple, clear, and terrifying. Do not underestimate humanity. Do not approach Earth with aggression. Any attempt will be met with overwhelming force. Alien leaders scrambled to decode the signals. They could not understand how a single species had managed to produce such advanced technology, let alone hidden fleets larger than most of the galaxy's combined forces. They were in awe, terrified, and humbled all at once. The surviving aliens transmitted responses, pleading for negotiation, promising peace, and even offering tribute. But humans ignored them. Communication was unnecessary. The galaxy had witnessed humans' full strength firsthand. Words were no longer needed to enforce their message. Meanwhile, on Earth, citizens watched with astonishment and fear as news from the warship arrived. Through secure transmissions, governments and military organizations observed the precision and efficiency of the humans in space. Humanity had not just defended Earth, it had demonstrated dominance. The planet had been ready all along, and now the galaxy knew it. Hidden fleets returned to positions beyond detection, yet the humans aboard the main warship remained vigilant. There was no celebrating, no letting down of guard. The captain understood something vital. The galaxy had seen Earth's power, but that did not mean the threats were over. Some species would plan, some would hide, and others would come with even greater force. Humanity had to remain prepared. The alien survivors were scattered, carrying tales of a single human warship that had obliterated entire fleets, of hidden ships that appeared like ghosts, of weapons that seemed impossible. Rumors spread across the stars, and the galaxy whispered a single name, Earth. Even among humans, a quiet respect formed. Every officer, every pilot, every engineer knew they had witnessed history. This was not just a battle. It was a turning point. The galaxy's perception of humanity had changed forever. Humans were no longer a small, primitive species. They were a force capable of shaping events on a galactic scale. The captain walked through the bridge, observing the crew. Each person moved with purpose, calm, and focus. There was no arrogance, no boastfulness. Humans understood the power they wielded, and more importantly, they understood the responsibility that came with it. This is only the beginning, the captain said to himself. The galaxy has learned, but we must continue to be ready. In the alien homeworlds, leaders convened emergency councils. Entire species debated the implications of a human's power. Some wanted to retaliate immediately, but others feared that any attack would be suicidal. The strategic balance had shifted irrevocably. What once seemed impossible now seemed inevitable. Humanity would determine the rules of engagement in the galaxy. Even those who survived the battle had no illusions. They had seen humans strike with precision, intelligence, and speed unmatched by any other civilization. Their species would now approach Earth with caution, hesitation, and fear. And fear, the humans knew, could be just as powerful as firepower. Back on the warship, hidden fleets began to reposition quietly. Humans were already analyzing possible threats, monitoring distant signals, and preparing contingency plans. Every move, every scan, every calculation was aimed at ensuring that Earth would never be threatened again without dire consequences. The captain activated a holographic map of nearby star systems. Red dots represented alien ships that had survived. Green dots marked known trade routes and colonies. Blue indicated the hidden human fleets. The galaxy had shifted, and humans were now the unknown factor. The silent storm waiting in the shadows. A young officer approached. "Sir, reports indicate that several alien species are attempting to organize a coalition. They fear Earth." The captain nodded. "Let them fear. Let them realize that underestimating humans is fatal. But stay vigilant. Fear alone does not ensure safety. Intelligence, preparation, and patience do." The message of the humans' dominance spread rapidly. Across the galaxy, species debated whether Earth should be approached, ignored, or avoided entirely. The warship, the hidden fleets, and the precision of the humans had altered centuries of assumptions. Diplomacy would now take a different form. Alliances would be reconsidered. Fear of humanity would influence every decision. Yet humans were not arrogant. They understood that power alone did not guarantee safety. Preparation, strategy, and discipline were what allowed them to dominate the battle. The captain reminded the crew constantly, "We have shown our strength, but power must be paired with wisdom. The galaxy is vast and challenges remain." As night fell on Earth, the citizens slept unaware of how close the galaxy had come to underestimating them. But in the shadows of space, humans watched. They monitored, calculated, and waited. Their presence was a quiet warning. The universe had changed, and Earth would no longer be ignored. Even the alien survivors carried stories of the humans' calm, calculated power. They spoke of warships that moved like living mines, weapons that struck with terrifying precision, and fleets that had been hidden for centuries. These accounts would ripple across the galaxy, forming legends that would influence decisions for generations. The captain stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. The aftermath of the battle was clear, but the work was not done. The humans had shown their power, but the galaxy was vast, full of unknown threats and challenges. They had made their statement. Now they had to remain vigilant, prepare for anything. And then a faint signal appeared on the sensors. Something distant, something unfamiliar, moving toward the edge of the solar system. The humans analyzed it quickly. It was small, almost invisible, but it was moving with purpose. The captain narrowed his eyes. "Prepare for Phase 5, he said. The crew stiffened, understanding immediately. We are not finished. Humanity never underestimates anyone, and neither should the galaxy underestimate us. Let them see the consequences of even thinking they can challenge Earth." A quiet hum filled the warship as energy systems powered up. Hidden fleets moved into formation, and drones deployed silently. The galaxy had witnessed humanity's strength, but now the humans were preparing to ensure it would never be questioned again. The alien fleets that had survived would warn others. Legends would spread. Fear would ripple through civilizations that had once considered themselves invincible. Humanity had revealed a glimpse of its true power, but the full potential remained hidden, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again if necessary. The captain looked at the stars, calm but determined. "Earth is ready," he said softly. "The galaxy has learned its lesson, but the story is far from over. Humanity has only just begun." The warship, silent and imposing, floated above the solar system. Hidden fleets remained in the shadows, cloaked and ready. Humanity had sent a message of dominance, intelligence, and preparation. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. And somewhere, deep in the distant reaches of space, new eyes watched. Eyes that had not witnessed a battle, that had not felt precision of human strategy, that had not yet learned the lesson of fear. The captain smiled faintly. "Let them watch. Let them learn. Humanity is awake, and the galaxy will never be the same." The stars above Earth twinkled like usual, calm and silent. But the galaxy was far from calm. Humanity had risen, showing the full scope of its strength, strategy, and intelligence. The aftermath was complete, but the story was far from over. A new chapter had begun, and the galaxy would tremble at the name of Earth for centuries to come.